بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد في الأولين وصل على محمد في الآخرين وصل على محمد في الملأ الأعلى إلى يوم الدين. آمين آمين يا رب العالمين. أصبحنا وأصبح الملك لله وحده لا شريك له. الحمد لله الذي أحيانا بعدما أماتنا وإليه النشور. اللهم إنا أصبحنا نشهدك ونشهد حملة عرشك وملائكتك وجميع خلقك أنك أنت الله الواحد الأحد لا إله إلا أنت وحدك لا شريك لك. اللهم توفنا على الإسلام وعلى كلمة التوحيد لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله. آمين آمين يا رب العالمين. بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء وهو السميع العليم. بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء وهو السميع العليم. اللهم اغفر لنا يا رب العالمين. اللهم اغفر لنا ما قدمنا وما أخرنا، ما أسررنا وما أعلنا، وما أنت أعلم به منا. آمين آمين يا رب العالمين. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the ayat we just recited, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminds us of the legacy of our father Ibrahim alayhi salam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, قُلْ صَدَقَ اللَّهُ فَاتَّبِعُوا مِلَّةَ إِبْرَاهِيمَ حَنِيفًا وَمَا كَانَ مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ. So follow the legacy of your father Ibrahim. He was Hanifan وَمَا كَانَ مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ. He submit himself to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when it comes to submission, the great role model is Ibrahim alayhi salam. When he was put in the middle of the fire, and he submitted himself to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he made the dua, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved him. And he submitted when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked him to go to the desert and to take his family where no food, no water, no nothing. And he submitted himself to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In fact, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned it clearly in Surah Al-Baqarah. إِذْ قَالَ لَهُ رَبُّهُ أَسْلِمْ قَالَ أَسْلَمْ. That's it. His Lord, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him, asked him to submit. He said, I submitted. He said, just submit. I submit. Immediately he said that. I submitted lillahi rabbil alameen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Lord of the worlds. We need to learn from Ibrahim alayhi salam the submission. That when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says something, we humble ourselves to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We submit. We surrender. Don't hear people just ask many questions. Why this is haram? Why this is halal? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said it's haram. Allah knows what is there. Allah يعلم وأنتم لا تعلمون. And Allah knows and you know not. And you don't know. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows what's going to happen in the future and you don't know. Why this is haram, this is halal. People start to use their, rationale. They used to think, say, you know what, I should just, this is my way. I think that riba is halal. So he goes his way. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran we need to submit ourselves to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then he said, إِنَّ أَوَّلَ بَيْتٍ وُضَعَ لِلنَّاسِ الَّذِي بِبَكَّةَ مُبَارَكًا وَهُدًى لِلْعَالَمِينَ, to the end of the ayat. The first house of Allah, first house ever for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was the one in Bakka. The one in Bakka. Bakka, one of the names of what? Mecca. You can say Bakka and Mecca. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala called it also al-Qura, لِتُنْذِرَ al-Qura, mother of villages. al-Qura wa man hawla. So this is the very first house. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked us in this ayah, this is the ayah of Hajj, asked us, وَلِلَّهِ عَلَى النَّاسِ حِجُّ الْبَيْتِ مَنِ اسْتَطَاعَ إِلَيْهِ سَبِيلًا. That it is a must, mandatory, that if you can make Hajj, if you can afford Hajj, to do Hajj, that you do it. حِجُّ الْبَيْتِ لِمَنِ اسْتَطَاعَ إِلَيْهِ سَبِيلًا. For whoever can afford it, it's a fard, it's mandatory that you do what? You do Hajj. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for each and every one of us, Ya Rabbal Alameen, to do Hajj. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for us all, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke about something else. He said, you know what? You want to be saved? You want to be people of dignity in this life? Listen to these ayat. Number one, يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا إن تطيعوا فريقا من الذين أوتوا الكتاب يردوكم. If you follow the people of the book, non-Muslims, they will, cause you to go back to disbelief, to the life of kufr, life of disbelief. وَكَيْفَ تَكْفُرُونَ. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and how come you disbelieve and you have the Quran. Very simple. How can you disbelieve when you have the Quran? Like, you have the Quran that you can ponder and read and learn from, and people still disbelieve. وَهُمْ يَكْفُرُونَ بِالرَّحْمَنِ. And then he said what? وَتُتْلَى عَلَيْكُمْ آيَاتُ اللَّهِ, that the verses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are being recited, and you listen to it, and you hear it. وَأَنْتُمْ تُتْلَى, and he said, وَفِيكُمْ رَسُولُهُ, and the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam is present amongst you. That means, in the time of the Prophet ﷺ, the Prophet ﷺ was there. But how is the Prophet ﷺ present now with us? The Prophet ﷺ is with us by his ahadith, his sunnah, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. We listen to his ahadith and his sunnah. So the first thing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us to be saved, don't follow the people of the book, don't follow any other people, just follow the Quran and the sunnah. Follow the Quran, the Prophet ﷺ, and you will be people of dignity. You will be, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will support you. You will be the best ummah. The way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Al-An'am, kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrijat lillah. This is number one. Then he said, if you want to be people of dignity, and when? Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu, وَمَنْ يَعْتَصِمْ بِاللَّهِ فَقَدْ هُدِيَ إِلَى صِرَاطٍ مُسْتَقِيمٍ. You need to seek, the refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala against anything else. Then just, stick yourself to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, don't ask anybody else. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, if you do so, you will be guided to the righteous path, to the right path. فَمَنْ يَعْتَصِمْ بِاللَّهِ فَقَدْ هُدِيَ إِلَى صِرَاطٍ مُسْتَقِيمٍ. How to do so? It said, make sure that you die on Islam. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته. Be mindful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the way He deserves. Be mindful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the way He deserves. And do not die except on Islam. We know this topic that all the prophets and all the righteous people used to make dua. Even the Prophet ﷺ himself used to make dua, used to say, Allahumma ya muqallib al-qulub thabbit qalbi ala ta'atik. Oh, the one who flips over the hearts, make my heart steadfast and to worship you, and let me die on Islam. Even Yusuf alayhi salam, Mutawaffani Muslim, and Ibrahim and Musa alayhi salam, in the Quran they all asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to let them die on Islam. So number 3, he said, if you want to be saved, وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا. Work together. Hold firm to the rope of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All together. Like, be one ummah. Try to be one ummah. One community. Just work together for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ. Before He speaks about getting together and having unity and stuff, He said, you need to seek to hold firm to the rope of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you do so, you will be guided. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will support you. He said, وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. Don't ever get divided. It's an order from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You need to think about it. Don't ever get divided. وَاذْكُرُوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكُمْ. The Prophet ﷺ is reminding here the Sahaba and reminding us to remember the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We need to remember the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Like sometimes we get distracted and we forget about the blessings and we think only about the bad things or the dark side of our lives. And we forget about the ni'am of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, no. وَاذْكُرُوا. Remember the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you were enemies, the Sahaba can you imagine the Sahaba of the Prophet ﷺ, they were enemies. Like Khalid ibn Walid, he fought against the Prophet ﷺ in the Battle of Uhud, right? He's one of the great companions, subhanAllah. He's one of the people of Jannah. But they were enemies, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, just remember you were enemies and Allah put you together. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought you together. And Surah Al-Anfal, وَأَلَّفَ بَيْنَ قُلُوبِهِمْ لو أنفقت ما في الأرض جميعا ما ألفت بين قلوبهم. It is Allah the one who brought their hearts together. And if you were to spend whatever in the earth, anything on the earth, to bring them together, you will not be able to bring them together, but it is Allah the one who brought them together. So it's always Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one who brings the hearts together. فألف بينكم. Then فأصبحتم بنعمته إخوانا. Then after that you became great brothers. See, one of the beautiful words that I like to say always, and alhamdulillah, all the brothers say when you shake the hands, hey, how are you, brother? You know what the meaning of the word brother? That's a great word, brothers. It's a great word. I mean, you don't find all communities use it. Brother, brother, brother. It's a great, فَأَصْبَحْتُمْ بِنِعْمَتِهِ إِخْوَانًا. By the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you became brothers. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that. بِنِعْمَتِهِ. Because of the ni'mah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you became brothers. And you were, وَكُنْتُمْ عَلَى شَفَى حُفْرَةٍ مِنَ النَّارِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved you from the hellfire. Then after that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلْتَكُمْ مِنْكُمْ أُمَّةٌ يَدْعُونَ إِلَى الْخَيْرِ. There have to be some people amongst you to remind the others of good, to enjoin the good, and to forbid the people, to forbid the evil, and to remind people of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then in the end, he sealed it and he said what? وَلَا تَكُونُوا كَالَّذِينَ تَفَرَّقُوا. Don't be like those who've been divided. وَاخْتَلَفُوا. And they differed. مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا جَاءَهُمُ الْبَيِّنَاتُ. After Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed them and made it clear for them that they have to be united. مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا أُولَٰئِكَ لَهُمْ عَذَابٌ عَظِيمٌ. Such people will have a severe punishment and torment on the day of judgment. If you get divided, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about it clearly in the Quran. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the end, He said, well, the people who will be in the hellfire because what they did, بِمَا كُنْتُمْ تَكْفُرُونَ. Because they disbelieved in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And in the end, He gave us the good news. And He said, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always, when He speaks about the hellfire, He speaks also about the Jannah. Then there is Jannah. وَأَمَّا الَّذِينَ بِيَضَّتْ وُجُوهُهُمْ فَفِي رَحْمَةِ اللَّهِ. As for those who the people of Jannah, they will have rahmah, mercy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us among the people of Jannah, Ya Rabbil Alameen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us all, Ya Rabbil Alameen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward us all, Ameen, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Allahumma aghfir lana dhunubana wa israfana fi amrina wa thabbit aqdamana wa ansurna ala qawmi al-kafirin wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Hadith of Salat al-Rahim, inshallah, tomorrow, inshallah.